Hey everyone, it's Evange. So today I'm going to show you how to make a chai latte. Now, I don't really like coffee, so if I go to like a coffee place, I usually end up ordering a chai latte. And most places will use a pre-made syrup that they can just, easily mix into the hot milk. And I find you can even buy these syrups now in the grocery store to mix with your own hot milk. But they're kind of expensive. They're like $7 or $8, and the quality is questionable. Some of them you can really taste the high fructose corn syrup. Some of them kind of use a weird blend of spices. So I'm going to show you how I make mine at home. You're basically just going to need some tea, some milk, and some whole spices. Now the spices I use, my go-to spices are cinnamon. Obviously, you can't do this without cinnamon. And then cardamom. Cardamom's kind of like a green pod. And then anise. Anise tastes kind of licoricey, but I actually really like it in this blend. So that's my blend that I will always start with will be cinnamon, cardamom, and anise. Now there's actually two kinds of anise. This is the European anise. It's kind of like a seed. But then there is also star anise, which is, it's from Asia. They're completely unrelated, but they taste exactly the same. So you can use either one. I tend to prefer this kind, and this kind's better for like presentation and stuff. And then I've also just got some cloves here, whatever. Just use your regular sweet spices. You could also use some ginger, not dried ginger. I'd use a knuckle of fresh ginger, or nutmeg. Nutmeg would work too, but my go-to spices are always just cinnamon, cardamom, and anise, and then whatever else I happen to have on hand. And then just regular black tea. You're going to need some of this, regular black tea. And then obviously your milk and your water. Now, the ratio of milk and water can vary a lot. You could do just buy a chai tea bag and then, steep it in water and add a little bit of milk. And that's fine for some people, but to make it really a latte, I find you have to go at least half and half. Usually I just use a splash of water to prevent the milk from scalding, and then the rest of it's milk. So I've got a pot here, and into this pot I'm going to put a little bit of water. Not a lot. And then my milk. So that this is probably like 90% milk. Okay. And to this, I'm going to add my spices. So a stick or two of cinnamon. A pinch of anise. And some cardamom. Now, cardamom, it comes in a pod, but like the pod itself doesn't have any flavor. It's got seeds inside that like have the flavors. So you've kind of got to break these open a bit. You can kind of, smash them on the counter or something, but I just kind of squeeze them so that they come apart a bit. See, the pods themselves are green, but the seeds are black. Then usually I wouldn't add star anise because, anise and star anise taste the same, but just because it's pretty, I'm going to add it. And then I happen to have cloves now. Don't go overboard on the cloves, but a couple of them make it nice. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. Once the milk starts to simmer, you can add your tea bag and then either turn it heat down or turn it off. And you just want to leave this for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now the reason you don't put the tea bag in at the beginning with the spices is if you leave the tea bag in too long, it's going to get bitter. So you just want to put it in at the end, and you only want to leave it for a couple minutes afterwards. And then just sweeten to your taste. Before serving, you probably want to clean out all these spices. What you can do is just try and, spoon out as much of it as possible. But what I find is if you just leave it to cool for a couple minutes, the spices will sink to the bottom, and then it won't be an issue. You can just pour off the chai from the top. Your other option is to pour it through a sieve, which is what I'm going to do today because I can't wait. And here you have a delicious chai latte. For this recipe and many others, check out my website www.evangesews.com. You could also do this like maybe using pumpkin pie spices, which would be like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and have like a pumpkin spice latte. But I really love my blend of the cinnamon, the cardamom, and the anise. It's the perfect blend for me. So if you like this recipe, make sure to subscribe. Also check out my website. Thanks so much for watching.